View TV, new media with a difference.
Hello, and welcome to Prime View Television. I'm your host, Spencer Anewelu, and today with me I have my co-host and co-CEO, Lady Molly.
Good evening. Good evening. Yes, my name is Lady Molly, but you can also call me Mystic Molly.
Okay. Welcome to the program, guests. Everyone watching from all around the world. We have a wonderful program today. I must first of all thank you for staying with Prime View Television. Prime View Television has been making some leaps and bounds recently. We've been bringing the political program, and we've been shifting on towards bringing to you some other programs, which Lady Molly will be hosting. Lady Molly, tell them about your program, the Golden Pot of Hope, please.
Yes, the Golden Pot of Hope will be coming to y'all every Saturday, 6 p.m. or between 6 to 7:30 p.m. every Saturdays. The Golden Pot of Hope is a charity show that supports, empowers, and gives hope to the less privileged back home in Nigeria. And we shall be have some giveaways every Saturday. So make sure you join us in Golden Pot of Hope, the little pot with a big heart.
Yes, thank you very much, Melly. We're looking forward to that one. And we're gonna start from next Sunday. We'll have our Igbo program, and it's called Obok on Igbo. We're going to be showcasing a lot of people from in the politics, people in Igbo issues to do with Igbo. I give it a name, and we're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be bringing in notable people. We'll be talking on the platform, and obviously we have the kids program, the primary kids, and we're going to be keep on modifying and see what the people want, and we're going to bring it to you. But
I must say, Prime View TV is moving up as usual, and we thank God and we thank you all for supporting us. We thank you for being there for us, regardless whatever the issues are. Thank you so much, and please continue supporting us.
Thank you very much. Yeah. On today's program, we have this is a new program we're bringing on today, and we're going to be doing this program every Thursdays. We've tagged it the Diaspora Leadership platform. Is a Diaspora Leadership platform, which is a platform where we're going to be bringing in all the aspirants across board from the PDP, APC, ABGA, in the forthcoming Anambra state election coming up in 2021. So we're trying to use this particular program to be able to showcase all the aspirants who are going to go through the primaries in their various parties, at least for them to interact with you. You can speak to them, get to ask them questions, because you never know. Any one of the people we're going to have on here could end up becoming the governor of Anambra State. And that's why we felt it necessary for this platform to be available for people to interact with Anambrians in particular in this case. And obviously we're going to have other people, but in this particular case, Anambrians from across the world who want to ask questions, who want to be able to hear that from the onset, those who are potentials of becoming the governor of the state, be able to interact with them and hear what they have to talk about. So on today's program, we have a fine gentleman. He's a man who has said, well, when I spoke to him, he said through his aid, he said he wanted to speak to people who he potentially needs to govern. He wants to make his impact. He wants to reach out to them via our platform. His name is Chief Ugochukwu Okeke. And Chief Ugochukwu Okeke, I'm going to bring him on the platform. I'm going to bring him on for him to give us, because his resume is quite long. So I'm not going to go through because I don't want to make any mistakes. I'm going to bring him on the platform for him to help us introduce himself, and hopefully he will make all the clarifications. Chief Ugochukwu, can you hear me, please? Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, he is. You have to add him. Yeah, yes. Bring him on board.
Yeah, he's coming. I think there's a bit of an internet.
Yeah, I'm here. I have some interruptions. I'm here.
You're welcome to the program, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, okay, loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear. But I was just going to make guess about yourself, Chief Ugochukwu Okeke. But I wanted you to introduce yourself, because I was going through your resume, and it was quite lengthy, and I said I didn't want to make any errors. So I remember you do the introduction yourself, and we'll take it from there, sir.
Okay, thank you for having me. My name is Chief Ugochukwu Okeke, FICA, Inyoha. I am from Ihiala in Anambra State. And I am, sorry, I have some interruptions here. And I am a member of the People's Democratic Party, on whose platform and ticket I would want to govern Anambra State. I'm a gubernatorial aspirant under the People's Democratic Party. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'd like you to give us a bit of background about yourself, because I read up something about your. You came out in 2013. You aspired in the past, and so give us a bit of a brief.
I didn't hear you there. I think that there's something wrong with the mic. It's not very clear.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I think he's frozen now. He's having a kind of internet problem.
Okay, then you might need to log out and log in. Let's see if we can log out. Let me remove him from the stream and see if he comes back in. Okay, yeah. Okay. He's coming back in now. Yeah, Chief, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear loud and clear now. Yes, loud and clear. Yeah. Yeah, what I was saying was, I'd like you to give us a bit of your background of your political history, a political rundown.
My political what? The network is a bit poor. I don't know why.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, give us a background of your political history. Just so you know.
My political history. Okay.
Yes, please. Yes.
I like I said, I'm a member of the People's Democratic Party. I've been in the party since inception, and I've also worked for the party. Been a member of the party across board. This culminated in my being the secretary of the caretaker committee of the party in 2018 and 2019. I have aspired for this position before. I did seek to govern Anambra State in 2013 under the same party. And as a loyal member of the party, it didn't work that time. I didn't win, but I've been steadfast in my belief in the party and the fortunes of the party in my state. I believe that the People's Democratic Party has all it takes to bring about the Anambra of our dreams. And that is why I'm throwing my heart into the ring again to ask all of you who are listening, to ask all our supporters to come together so we can build an Anambra that will be a 21st century destination. It is an investment destination. It is important that, sorry, the network is a bit bad. It's a bit...
yes, but we can hear you clearly, yes.
Yeah. The reason why I am doing this is that I believe I have what it takes. I believe I have the people around me. I'm a grassroots person. I've been through all the nooks and crannies of Anambra State, and I understand what our problems are. So when I say I am motivated to build a new Anambra that will be an investment destination of the 21st century, I mean every sense of it. I mean every bit of it. So I believe that this your platform is also good for me to tell Anambrians and then the Anambra in the diaspora, while they should listen to me and work with me and partner with me to deliver on this. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so can I throw something in here now? Yeah.
Yes.
What exactly do you think that the present government is not doing right that you will come there to correct? Because according to, as far as Anambra people are concerned, this is one of the time they started working. So is there something that what's your power force that will make you come in there and change what they are doing wrong? Is there anything that you think they're doing wrong that you're coming there to do? Any change at all?
Thank you, Lady Malin. Government, as we all know, is a continuum.
Yes.
Government is a process, but there are things that have not been done properly. And I believe that when we find ourselves there, we can chart a new course, deliver on the new Anambra. Now, the new Anambra is an Anambra that will be investment friendly. The new Anambra is an Anambra that will be sought by everybody to commit their best, to contribute to their best in ensuring that we achieve growth and development. And when the view of the driver and the passenger are obviously different. So for now, you cannot sit down here and say this thing has been done well or not. But I believe that the potentials of Anambra have not even been tapped, not even 1%. We have what it takes to be the food basket of the entire country, starting from the southeast region to the entire southern region of Nigeria. And these things are practicable. And we have the contacts and the people that can make this happen. And that is why we want to ask Anambrians to team up with us, to work with us to achieve this. Now, it will not be proper for me to stay here and say that certain things have not been done well. There are various sectors of the Anambra economy that must be rejigged. We must look at our insecurity, look at our land use laws, look at so many things. You talk about the infrastructure. But one thing that we must take home from this is that you need to raise finance to do all this. To rebuild a new Anambra needs money. Already the state is indebted to a lot of billions of naira. There is need for us to rejig the system and bring on board a new spirit and a new way of doing things. And in so doing, we will realize the Anambra of our dreams, which will now be one that can cater for the needs of the Anambrians who are everywhere, who believe that they're not getting what they deserve to get in government for now. Thank you.
Okay. Chief, I'm gonna come on to the issue of security, because just a few days ago there was this sad news coming out of Anambra State that the SSA to the governor, William Reynolds' aide, the SSA was somehow murdered. I don't know if you know about that information. So I'm wondering if someone on that level could be killed, anyhow. What do we have for the common man? So what are you going to do about security in Anambra State?
Our security challenges are enormous. They are multifaceted. They are from different angles. But the ones that are very, very glaring to us is the issue of cultism, the issue of drug abuse, the issue of communal wars, and so on and so forth. And in discussing this, we have a blueprint for our security. And this is being handled by experts. Some of them, you know them, Mr. Spencer. They're all working together to get the best to ensure that Anambra is a safe haven. But one thing we will not tolerate, and we promise Anambrians, is that nobody, whoever, from any angle, from anywhere, can toy with the lives and security of Anambra. And you got Bambo, because here in a maybe live program, in as much as we have coverage to speak in English, our dialect is Igbo, our language is Igbo. I just want to know you by a swan Igbo. Here I get back a buy the way. I could be about Mabasa, but one of the most important ones is that we must rejig the security system. And as you're rejigging it, one thing that is sacrosanct that must be done is that we must create employment. When you create employment, you reduce insecurity. We're going to delve into the issue of our agriculture to ensure that we create employment for our teaming graduates and youths. There's a lot that will be done there. As we go into the program, I will also shed more light on that. But believe you me, there is a robust plan to ensure that our security is top-notch. And we have already started doing consultations far and wide to achieve this.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Marlene,
yes. Again, Lima, let me can take you go dig it back a bit, because I don't know if they've started issuing out tickets yet. If you have gotten your ticket and if you have a manifesto already down for us to kickstart your governor election.
No, we have the manifesto.
You want your own manifesto down.
I did this in 2013, 7 years ago.
Okay, so you're using the same one.
Asking for
the same one.
No, it's not possible. 2013 and 2020 are 7 years apart. So obviously things have changed. The demands of Anambra a change go. So already high padu na 2013 ka get 2020. In your Erika, Manamboro no moment and you
Okay. I want to ask you something about I know it's because recently my dad unfortunately had a stroke. And when we were finding out about the healthcare system in Anambra State, we found out that there's actually an insurance. I don't know if you know about the healthcare insurance in place in Anambra, and it's quite unique to Anambra State. And at the moment, it's pegged at 12,500, which to some people would be very expensive. So I was wondering if there's a way if you do come in, do you have any plans to make it affordable for the ordinary Anambarian?
Yeah, for sure. You see, like I said before, the issue of healthcare is of primary concern to myself and my team, because we have a crack team, a team of solid professionals who believe that Anambra needs to tap into its potentials. Now, what you just asked with reference to the health sector, when you say 12,500, we don't know the reasons why it's 12,500. You can't sit outside and say you're going to make it cheaper or better. But whatever it is, we are going to look at the efficiency of the system. It is the efficiency of the system that will direct the cost. So, but we can promise Anambrarians and say for sure that we're going to provide the best of healthcare. We're even looking at health tourism for Anambra State. At the 3 senatorial zones, we are looking at having specialist hospitals that are going to be world class. And we are already reaching out to our diasporans, people like you and all others, who can contribute and come in to help us build that. Because one thing we must take home, like I said before, is that the state doesn't have money. We have to bring people with ideas that can generate money that will be used to rebuild and take the state to a higher level. When you say you want to create a 21st century investment destination, you need to also look at your health sector, look at the educational sector, look at your basic infrastructure, look at power, look at a lot of things, look at doing things the way that will make our diasporans come back home and be proud of the Anambra State of their origin.
Yes. Sorry, quickly, Marlene, before we move on to Marlene, ask you.
Yes, I want to.
No, Marlene, I'm gonna say chip in something quickly. You know, in Ugochukwu, we have Dr. Madoka, who came in from the United States, and he built that edifice, and he's built like a wonderful place in Anambra State. My question is, how do you help people like him? You know, how are you going to help him make that thing something that people will come to? Because he's talking about medical research.
Spencer,
I didn't get that.
Spencer, we have your internet.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think there's something wrong with the volume. It's not. I don't know if from my side or from your side. It's not very loud. But if I heard you right,
Spencer, your internet was bad a little bit.
What?
Okay, sorry. Can I repeat it? I'll repeat it. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Repeat the question again.
Okay, what I'm saying is, you know, in Anambra State, we have Dr. Madoka from Ugochukwu, if I'm correct, and he built this edifice of a medical research center. My question is, how are you gonna make it more interesting for other people, make it a world destination? Because that's what he's aiming for. He wants government assistance for that to be something where people come from all around the world.
It's good you mentioned Dr. Madoka's edifice and what he has done. That is one individual. If you look at Anambra, Anambra is blessed with the richest people by any means of measurement, by the most educated, by the most endowed, by the most blessed. And we need to get them together. Not only Dr. Madoka's structure, but also build more across the state. But in so doing, you must create trust in the system. The people must buy into you, believe in you, and by so doing, whatever you ask them to contribute to, they'll be willing to do. So Dr. Madoka's edifice is one of them. There are so many others that are ready to come on board. But people are sitting by the side and watching and looking for the right person, the person that they can call a grassroots man, the person that they can call a leader by excellence, one who they believe can drive the new Anambra dream and make it come to fruition. So looking at Dr. Madoka's edifice, like I said, is one individual. He has done very well in that regard. We are going to partner with such people. Anambra is our own. Anambra Bunkanye. Aintaga Bambo. Whether me boy Anambra North, me boy Anambra South, me boy Anambra Central, Ainta Bunda Anambra. Here the Pakagini me, Bokaba Kawa Kon, no Mamiko about Anambra Dima. I get me, I got for your bonnet. As I'm even talking to you, I've reached out to Dr. Maduka. We're even in talking terms in that regard.
Wonderful. Okay, Marlene. Lady Marlene, go ahead.
Yes, my own is there. Okay, I'm from Abia State.
Okay.
And I learned you went to school in Aba.
Yeah.
You went did primary school in Aba.
Yeah.
So now Aba is terrible with environmentals. Onitsha is also close to dirtiness when it comes to Aba.
Yeah.
What effort would you put in place to make sure to clear? Because environmental is one thing that almost all the governors are getting wrong. What effort would you put in place to make sure Onitsha is the next clean, let's say the cleanest state in Nigeria? Do you have any plans
thank you.
You intend to put in place for that?
Okay. Thank you for that question, Lady Malik. You see, a healthy people, as we know, are a wealthy people.
It's a healthy nation.
What we can do in that regard is, first and foremost, we will strengthen our laws. We will work in consonance with the state legislature to ensure that our laws are strengthened. We have laws against environmental pollution, environmental hazards. So we will do that, and then at the same time, look at those drainages where they're having issues and find a way to clearing them. We're also looking at waste to wealth and waste to power. But this interview is such a short one that you cannot bring everything on board. But be rest assured that our drainages will be cleared. We'll find ways of ensuring that our environmental laws are strengthened, and the people are meant to be responsible. Our citizens will be responsible for their actions, and we take actions to protect our citizens who are also responsible in that regard. So when it comes to our sewage issues, we're going to do our best to ensure that we protect our environment. But most importantly, we're going to work with our local government. That's one reason why we must also ensure that the local government system becomes very functional and efficient. The word again is efficiency. You see,
Yes.
when you are efficient, you produce good results. So when we look at how
we're having a bit of internet problem here, but let's hope let's hope he solves it. Let's see. I'll take him away from the screen.
When he gets back, when he gets back, we have to ask him. One of our viewers is asking a question.
Me now?
Derek is asking us to ask him: is anti-grazing bill something he would encourage? We have to ask him that. It's very important when he comes back.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you know, because this anti-grazing thing going on.
I think he's frozen at the minute. Let me see if I can. Let me try and bring him back a bit quickly. Okay, he's coming back now.
We lost him for a minute.
Yes. Yes.
First, I'm so sorry. The network is bad. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yes.
Yes, as I was saying, did you ask that question?
So before we lost you, can you hear me?
I can hear you. The
question I asked is what actually one of our viewers that asked that. He said we should ask you if the anti-grazing bill something he would encourage. Is that something you will encourage? The anti-grazing bill. Would you encourage it in Anambra State when you take power? Did you hear me, sir?
I think he's frozen again. We have an internet problem there. Okay. Yeah.
If he comes back again, Spencer, maybe he could hear you properly.
Okay, he's back now.
But it's been wonderful,
yes,
you know. Like I said, talking to
and find
you're back, sir. Did you hear me, sir?
Imbalances and make them better, so that the issue of clashes will be reduced to the barest minimum, so that we can all live side by side harmoniously. There is need for us to look at the laws and know what it is now. But one thing that is certain is that nobody, like I said before, will be allowed to terrorize in the Anambra. Nobody can come from anywhere and terrorize the Anambra. We will protect the sanctity of lives and property in Anambra State. That is the duty of government, and that will be what we seek to do.
Okay. And then I was going to ask you another. There's a few comments here which I'll come to later on. We have a lot of comments from people that I'll ask you later. But what I wanted to ask you personally is to do with we have innocent mottos, right? Can you hear me, Chief? Yeah, innocent mottos. People have always criticized government for not doing enough to project and help him expand in his production, in terms of people patronizing him. What would you do differently from what's being done at the moment in Anambra State to make sure that that IVM becomes a car everyone drives? I want to be able to drive it in London even. So I don't know. Are you thinking of exporting it? How can we get it out of Nigeria, even across Nigeria?
That is why, like I said earlier, our target, our aim is to make an Anambra an investor's heaven. And when you create the right environment for all this, it's not only about innocent. It's also about other producers, other factories in Anambra State. By the time you get them to produce more and sell more, you increase income to the state, you increase growth of your GDP, and you can develop better. But one thing that is important is we will encourage state parastatals, all aspects of the state government, to buy locally produced, not only vehicles, but everything that we need that is locally produced. So you can see the cost of the dollar today. It's going to about 500 naira. Who has that to buy anything? It's difficult. It's not even healthy for the economy. So for people like Innocent and other big producers, the government will partner with them to ensure that we can also look at exporting those cars and earn more income, not only for Innocent, but for the state.
Okay. Lady Marlene, can you hear me? Do you have something there? Go on.
Yeah. And then my other question, sir, is: do you have plans for women and the less privileged and the women and the disabled? Do you have plans for women and disabled? Because women now, actually, for you to get in there, it's the work of the women that counts.
For what? You said something about women.
Do you want to share a bit of it with us?
Yeah, that is a topic that is very dear to me. Very dear to me because our disabled must be given the best of treatment. Not only our disabled, but all Anambra citizens who have health challenges. They should be able to find succor in government. When it comes to women, yes, women who are eminently qualified will be given employment across board. But one thing we must push and ensure is on the front burner is the issue of equal opportunity for all. We're going to look at merit, but at the same time, we're going to make it equal for everybody. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. So our women should be rest assured that they're looking at their husband, their son, their brother, their friend, who is going to accommodate them in everything that we do to push Anambra State. We're going to work with the women, and we're going to ensure that they are better felt in the way of doing this in Anambra State.
Okay, Chief, I'm going to ask you a question from the comments I've seen. We got a comment from Derek. Derek was saying, what plans do we have of issuing certificate of occupancy being put in the forefront for landowners in Anambra State, which will encourage growth and development? So I think states like Lagos and all that are doing something about, making it easy to get your certificate of occupancy. What plans do you have to make it easier and affordable for people who want to buy land in Anambra?
That's a beautiful question from Derek. Thank you for that question. You see, when you make certificate of occupancy easily accessible, you add more value to the land. So we intend to work on that so that the lands in rural areas, when you talk, for example, in agriculture, when you talk about crowd farming and crowd funding, you're looking at bringing small people to come together to form a crowd and be able to access funding. Now there is need for the certificate of occupancy to also be worked upon, so that when you have land, for example, in my place here, and you have land, and the land has value of 5 million naira, you can assess 5 million naira from the bank with that land as a collateral to be able to produce goods, so that we can increase output across the entire state, so that our people who are into subsistence farming can be helped and pushed to go into productive farming.
Yes.
And mechanized farming, so that they can achieve more.
Okay.
Derek asked a good question. We're going to work on that. It's in our manifesto. It's part of our plan.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Marlene, Lady Marlene, do you have something for Chief?
Yes. Okay. Yes, of course. Of course, there's so much, And a lady had asked about your plans in bringing water to Anambra State. But my question now is, a lot of blocked drainages, poor roads, according to what they put there, and erosion. It is still possible, it is still happening in Anambra State, especially the poor roads, accidents and all that. How do you, especially the Oka, there's this route, the Onitsha-Oka road. How do you intend to? What do you have in plans? The government now believe they're working, but still people are complaining about the roads and accidents. What plans do you have to make sure this is taken care of? And then, like that lady said, I haven't been to Anambra State in a long while, but she said there's a serious shortage of water in Anambra State, drinking water. What do you have to say about that, sir?
First of all, Lady Marlene, there are projects that are very dear to me and to my team. You just mentioned one of them, access to water.
Okay.
There are plans to look at ensure that we provide potable water in Onitsha, in Oka, in Nnewi, and other towns, Agwata, Ihiala, across board. But in doing this, we have to look at the infrastructure as it is on ground, and then know where to come in and where to also add more. But one thing that is important is that the state needs to earn more income. All the questions you've asked me about development must be funded. So there is need for you to create an economy that is booming, that will attract investors and raise the flow of cash or money in the system, so that the government does not really need fiscal cash to function, but government needs the environment that will create investments that will bring more income and more funding to the system. So water is top priority. We need to provide clean and potable water, especially to the major towns in Anambra State. We also need to look at power.
Yes.
It might beat your imagination, or you might not know that we don't even have the infrastructure for power distribution and transmission.
Yes.
The states will have to work on that seriously with the federal government, so that we can have access to power. These are burning issues that must be treated expeditiously and with a focus that is second to none. We must ensure that we push this issue of providing the basic amenities for our people, so that we can build a new Anambra that is in touch with the realities of the present time.
Okay, Chief, I'm going to ask you a real issue. This is a real issue. Most Anambra will tell you about this one. You know that every year there's always fire in the market in Onitsha. I don't know why there is. Across Nigeria anyway, there's fire. But in particular, in Anambra, fire, what do we do? I have a proposal for it. But that's what we're planning for. This fire that's always happening. How do we stop this thing?
I get enlightenment. Our people need to understand the causes of fire, and we also improve on our firefighting equipment. We also decongest the markets. There is need for us to create space, because sometimes when you look at the fire incident, it's about lack of space. When everything is washed up, everything is so close to each other. Then we also have to maintain standards, because sometimes these fires are from electrical installations.
Okay.
So the state will have to create a department or an office that has to look at the standards that we use in building houses. Sometimes we want to build houses that are cheap, or cheap factories, or do cheap wiring. The damaging effects and the damaging effects only occur when these fires come on. So he has taken a lot of lives, he has caused a lot of damage. So it's also an aspect that we've also looked at, and we're going to prefer solutions to them.
Okay. Lady Molly?
Yes, and then I will go back again to the same question. Why do you think PDP should give you the ticket to run when there's other candidates there?
Well, thank you.
Why do you think you're the best person to run for governorship?
I have been a loyal party man, but it's not only about loyalty. I also have the capacity. There are 3 C's in leadership.
Sorry, sir. Anambra State is the toughest. Anambra State is the toughest state. You know that in politics.
Is it what?
Anambra is the toughest.
It is the toughest. I'm also a tough guy.
Yes.
I'm also a strong guy. And you can see my name. I said Enyi Oha.
Enyi Oha.
I believe I'm best positioned to take PDP to Aguaka because I cut across. I have no heirs. I'm somebody who understands the needs of my people. I'm somebody who believes in delivering the needs of my people. I'm somebody who believes in doing things the right way. And most importantly, I am eminently qualified to be the governor of Anambra State because I have what it takes and I have the people to make it happen. That is why I'm begging in Anambra, especially my members of the People's Democratic Party who are listening to this and those I've reached out to. They know me, they know my antecedents, they know my pedigree, they know what I can do. What is key is give this ticket to somebody that the true Anambra man will value to vote for, because it goes beyond getting the PDP ticket. It's also about winning the general elections.
Yes.
And you need someone that people can be easily accessible to. People can access easily. And I'm one of them. And I believe that, like I said before, I have what it takes to deliver and build a new Anambra of a dream with the support of all of you. I have a strong vision for the transformation of Anambra State. By the time you see my blueprint, you look at it very well. And we are also open. Mark my words, we're also very open to inputs to achieve more, because this is a collective thing. Like a quote I remember in one of the books I read, it says, societies make progress when the collective will of the people supersedes that of the individual. There is need for us to have somebody who is a team player, for us to have somebody who believes in Anambra, and for us to bring somebody who is in Enyoha, so that PDP can win Anambra State.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question by Stanley. 2 questions, and I'll ask you mine as well. So you might have to take them together. Stanley Dicke said, "What have you done in your village?" That's one of the questions. And then he said, "Have you been able to help people with the little position you've had?" And then my question on top of all of that is, in Anambra, in Anambra State, Anambra currently is number 3 in terms of education in the whole of Nigeria. Imo State is number 1. Lagos State number 2. Now, what my question is, in Imo State, Governor Rochas Okorocha was, he's been mismade with everything, but he brought free education. Do you have any plans to bring it? Is it sustainable? What's your take on free education for Anambrans to get us to number 1?
Well, let me start from the last, the issue of education. That is primary, because you can't have a good foundation without education.
Oh, the internet's come frozen again. Let's see if we'll get him back. Give him a few minutes. He should be back.
Now, education is primary.
Okay, he's coming back. Chief,
we must invest in education by retraining our teachers. Our teachers have been stagnant. We must look at the infrastructure in our schools, and we must begin to look at e-learning.
Yes.
We must look at with the advent of COVID, we've all seen that there is need for us to improve on our e-learning system. Now, you cannot do this only as the state government. You must partner with the local governments. The local governments are key in delivering this. The local governments are important in doing this. We look at the schools. Like in Anambra, I think we have about 1,000 and roughly about 1,060 primary schools across the state. Some of them don't even have desks in their place. That is why we need the local government system to start working. And we need to remunerate our teachers well. And we need to make the teaching profession attractive so that our teaming graduates can find jobs in those places. Anambra is blessed as one of the states with the lowest level of rural-urban migration. So what we need to do is to ensure that these schools in the local areas have the basic standards so that they can also employ and have people around them become more teachers. And our students also must begin to go back to what they used to do before. Essay competitions. You see, when you create competition, you bring out the best. We must create competition amongst our schools. We must even create competition amongst our teachers, amongst our principals. And we cannot do this without the support of our people. When I mean our people, I mean people in the local government area, people in our various towns. Anambra has 184 towns. You have 52 in Anambra North, you have 60 in Anambra Central, and you have 72 in Anambra South. All these towns have major stakeholders. All these towns have people who believe and have the true spirit of Anambra. We will find them. We're already looking for them. We're already getting them. We need to rejig our educational sector and make sure it goes back to its enviable position of being the best. What we want in this government, if elected by the grace of God, is to be the best and nothing but the best. And the only way to be the best is to set standards that are very high and work hard to achieve that. That is what we want to do. There's a lot, like I said in the manifesto. You look at them, we have even looked at the schools in terms of their standards. There are some that need immediate attention. There are some that need attention after the first one that attended to. So you're going to grade them in cadres and then work on them at that level. But what that is sure is that we must add value in every aspect of education. We have identified all the gaps across board, and we're going to work hard to fill the gaps. When you want to solve a problem, like when you go to the hospital, they ask you to go and do a test, is to identify what actually is wrong with you. And when the result of the test comes, the doctor prescribes his medications based on the outcome of the test you've done. So in that regard, we're already doing those tests across all the schools in Anambra, and we are seeing those gaps, and we're going to work hard to fill those gaps. But one of them that's very, very important, that is sacrosanct, is that we must rejig the training of our teachers, because our teachers impact knowledge on our students, and they must have it right to be able to do it well. Yes.
Okay, Chief, we have Chief, sorry, we have a question from Honorable Kafo. His question is, what plans do you have in place about the current multiple taxation? According to him, sorry, something keeps over. He said, what is your plan about the current multiple taxation in the state? And that is from Honorable Kafo from Abuja.
Thank you, Mr. Obinna, for that question. When you say multiple taxation, that means the taxation is coming from different angles. You see, the government is going to streamline taxation. Nobody is going to overtax our citizens. But at the same time, we are going to spread the tax net to cover more people. When more people pay tax, they can even pay lower, but you earn more income by that. So we're going to look at what the overtaxation is, and we're going to sort it out. You can't solve a problem from the outside. And like I did say before, the view of the driver is totally different from the view of the passenger. There's somebody on seat there now. we give him respect, and we encourage and support him to be at his best. By the grace of God, if we find ourselves there, then we will look at all this and then do what we're supposed to do. Consider. And one major thing that is certain that will drive what we are going to do is that this is a government that we hope and pray that with your support, we're going to be transparent and we're going to be accountable to the people. For you diasporans, what to make you invest your ₦1 in any business or in any government is when it is transparent and accountable. And we're also going to look at that in the local government areas. We're going to push it to local government areas. We're going to set standards for local government areas. On the average, every local government area in Anambra State earns about ₦100 million every month. If you multiply it by 12, it's about ₦1.2 billion. Now reduce it for those that earn less, which are very they're quite few, they're negligible. Now we earn average of ₦1 billion for local government area per annum. My brother and sister, if we're accountable and transparent, that is good enough. It might not be enough, it might not be sufficient, but if efficiently managed, our local governments will be the best of it. Our local government areas will achieve more, and our local government areas will gain more. So the issue of taxation, like you raised, we will look at it and ensure that our citizens are not overtaxed. Any responsible government, mark my words, any responsible government caters for its people, not for those in office. We're going to be selfless and we're going to be committed to ensuring that Anambrans get the best from their government. That is our target. There was a question you asked before, Mr. Spencer.
Yes, about what you've done for your people in the village, and that was
what I've helped my people in the village. You see, help is relative. Yeah. In my little capacity, even as we speak, we're still doing that. Yes. Help is not about buying rice for people. Help is not about giving people fish. Help is about telling people how to catch that fish. Yes. So that they can become fishermen, not fish eaters. So for me, in my own little capacity, the records are there. I have a foundation, Ugochukwu Okeke Foundation. We've also been doing a little bit to assist less privileged. We've also been doing that from our other structures. The other structures that we have, which we used to do that. But what is important is that the person that asked that question, I'm sure they will do that out of mischief, because they all know that they know how means well. They all know that I do my best to assist whoever I can. I have never met anybody and left that person the way I met him. Yes. Even when I don't give, I use good words to speak. I use good words to enlighten and enliven people. So in that regard, I'm very, very comfortable to say that I have done and I will continue to do more to assist less privileged. But you can do better when you have the mantle of power. You can achieve more in that regard.
Okay, quickly, I'm going to take some of the comments here. We have two comments from Robert Chukwuka. He's saying your articulation of the problem of Anambra has been very impressive so far. That's one. And then the most important one, which I think is really pertinent, is one from Ikenna Nwoha. He said, would he continue with the airport project? It's like one of those white elephant projects. Asaba Airport is within reach. So he's asking whether you're going to go ahead with the airport that was destined to be in somewhere in Aguilera somewhere. I don't know where the governor's trying to put it.
I personally, government is, like I said, is a continuum. Yes. When you come on board and you see the reasons for the airport, you're going to look at it and whether you stop it or not. But for me,
internet is quite.
What?
It's really bad.
No, go ahead.
Lady Mali, I didn't hear you.
No, go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
Okay. The issue of the airport for me, you see, what makes a state viable? Yes.
No. I was just saying that your internet is quite bad.
That will make the state grow. Creating policies that are sustainable. Now, I do not think, in my own capacity, I might be wrong. Yes. For you to drive human development, for you to make policies that drive human development and infrastructural growth, you must also look at the economies of scale. Study finance in school. You must also look at how much do you earn We will not enter into projects that are going to leave the state poorer. Rather, we will enter into projects that are going to make the state richer and more prospective. Now, the prospects you have in buying into anything is because you believe you will have yield. We're looking at building a new Anambra that will yield to our citizens, a new Anambra that will create value for our people. So the issue of the airport is personal to the present government. Any new government that takes over will look at it, assess it, and do the right thing. But one thing that is certain is this: it is easier. They say talk is cheap. It is easier to say from the outside, he doesn't do this, he did this well, he didn't do that well. No, when you are on the seat, you look at it very well and decide on what to do. But any policy we have, when you look at our blueprint, you will see it. Now they haven't lifted the ban on campaigns. What we are doing now is consultations across the party. What I'm doing now with you is to engage and talk to Anambrians in diaspora through your channel, and I'm very appreciative of that. But one thing that was also have at the back of our mind is that the veil hasn't been lifted for this. When they're lifted, I'll run my program, you see it, you decide. But they say that the taste of the pudding is in the eating. A lot of people have come to us with a lot of stories and packages, and when they are given that the job to do, they end up achieving nothing. But I'm telling you, I have a crack team that will give you the Anambra of your dream. Lady Marlin, I have a team that will make you envious of Anambra. that you try and come and begin to lead Anambra. Don't go to Abia. Come back to Anambra.
I'm typical on it. They brought up. No, I cannot.
That's why we need your support. But I can't.
And this question, they will know. This next question they might have. Local government, they're always underrated. In my plans to boost, to put to at least lift the local government. Anything I make up good tangible because when I was growing up in Onitsha was so fantastic. My water works, maybe I need and all that. All that is gone now. So now anything plans to bring back that kind of little social culture back into Anambra State. I miss Anambra. I miss Onitsha.
Let me. You know, Marlin, you always ask questions that are also very dear to me. Firstly, you cannot make progress without a solid local government base. You cannot.
Yes.
Now, having said that, the local government areas were created as the closest in governance to the people. It is sad that we have allowed that system to be dying slowly and steadily. Why? By appointing local government chairman. It is wrong. I am promising Anambrians. Ndi Anambra me kwu no nkwa. No kwadom Chukwunyaka Aijide, Governor of Anambra State. I get free and fair free and fair local government elections. Sorry for the slip of talk. Not primary kind of change, so primary them no. Pardon me for that. Now, the truth about it is that with the local government system in place, the headache of the governor becomes even lesser. Because local government system will take care of the primary schools within the area. We have about 557 primary healthcare centers across Anambra State. They should be taken care of by the local government. But the state government is going to create a standard, and the local governments will key in. If you look at your principal and is towing a straight line, you cannot do otherwise. You will tow the same line. We are going to create a standard so that a local, you see, you can be a local government chairman and be a champion in your local government area. You don't need to come to the center. That is why it was created in the first instance.
Of course.
We are going to make sure all their funds get to them. But in running their funds, they must watch and look at what the state government is doing. You must be accountable and you must be transparent.
Okay.
There won't be any clannish tendencies or any allowance for mediocrity. We will allow local government areas to elect their people. If you go to local government areas, there are people who are champions within them. You elect them to gather the people. What is leadership? Leadership is influence. Within the local government structures, there are people we know who are very influential. Let them come on board and join us to drive the development of the local government areas. The local government areas hold a lot.
That's the key. Yes. Chief, in closing now, because we've got just a few more minutes to round up. 1 or 2 questions from me and a few from Marlene, and then we round up. What I have for you now really is 2. One is to do the issue of zoning in the party structure, back to the PDP structure. Zoning. Is zoning something you feel will favor you or favor, I don't know, in the PDP? You know, you PDP guys don't want to be the zoning now. Spencer,
first and foremost,
yes.
Zoning is like a norm. And it baffles me that people are asking questions about zoning. Look at everything Nigeria is about zoning.
We don't understand in diaspora. You know, in the UK, for instance.
Okay, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you. First and foremost, for me, as Ugochukwu Okeke, I'm aspiring to govern my state as a bona fide indigenous of Anambra State.
Yes.
Sacrosanct, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the issue of zoning, I contested when it wasn't the zone, the turn of Anambra South. For us now, we are clamoring for it because it's our right. Ndị Igbo si n'oke adịghị onye mwanya, anyị mwanya. So anyị na-asị nye anyị oke anyị. Ihe na-ebute agha na-ebute ọgụ bụ eke garịa. Now, having said that, all party officers in Anambra State, in the 3 parties, the 3 major parties, PDP, APGA, APC, all have their positions based on zoning.
Yeah.
My national vice chairman of PDP and all of them who have said that there's no zoning are all there by zoning. You see, let me tell you what will make Anambra great again. We must begin to tell ourselves the truth.
Yeah.
The beauty of democracy is that minority will have their say, but majority will have their way. Let us stop mixing issues. If they decide they want to run it based on no zoning, I'm ready, I'm qualified, I'm able, I'm capable. But what I'm saying is that it is our right, it's our God-given right. And I cannot see my right, and because you feel that you have other strong points about it, and ask me not to ask or seek my rights. It is wrong. To help you briefly, Mbadniju did 4 years in 1999-2003. Ngige came on board. Dr. Ngige came on board. Did 3 years. Yes. P2B came on board. P2B and Ngige are from Central. They did 11 years.
Yes.
In the principle of fairness, equity, and justice, Anambra South deserves to have this. Because after doing 8 years, they took it to Anambra North. It was agreed that if you leave this in as a contest, they might not win it. And Anambra North has taken 8 years, which will elapse by the grace of God next year. So naturally, for equity and justice and for fairness, not only to be seen, but to be real, to be felt, for us to feel it, he has to go to Anambra South, natural. But let me also say something. Anambra South is not clamoring for governorship of Anambra South. We are clamoring and fighting and hoping to be governor of Anambra State.
Yes.
The point must be very clear. Whoever is going to be Anambra South, we also have to reach out to people from the Anambra North and Anambra Center, Central zones, and discuss and agree with them.
Internet.
No.
Yes. Yes. Okay, Lady Marlene, in closing, please. Lady Marlene?
Yes. Well, my final question you're asking, yeah?
Yes.
Well, my final, it's an unagically first, you know.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, there's this thing trending the internet now about the Igwes and how will you handle a situation like that when the Igwes left their councils and met Alpha in his premises, and the scandals like that came up, how are you going to, how would you hide a bit? To me, personally, I would have shaded a bit of what's going on in the public, because I always have this problem by saying don't wash your dirty laundry in the public. Would you be able to hide certain things that is happening in Anambra State, or you think everything transparency will come up in the open? This is a question from my heart.
The position, Lady Marlin, the position of Igwe or traditional ruler of any town or village society,
yes,
is one that must be that is held in high esteem.
Yes. Yes.
Is one that must be treated as such. So for what has transpired, I don't know their dealings with the governor. I don't know their dealings with to me it's private and it's personal. I would like to comment on that. But for me, our traditional rulers must be given their utmost respect. And in the same way, they must also respect themselves. When you occupy a revered position, you must do all that is possible within you to protect that position. I think our traditional rulers must protect what they hold, which is custodians of the laws of our people in the traditional setting. So I would like to delve into that. I have my comments. Like you said, if I was there, when I'm there, I'll look at it and I know what to do. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Chief Ugochukwu, I think we've had enough time. I know there's a lot more questions. We would have loved to take in a lot more than that, but I think we're going to have to wrap it up on this note. We'd like to say thank you very much for coming on Prime Television. We hope you make time. Are you still there? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, he is. He's still there, yes.
Okay. Yeah, we hope you make time again once again. Hopefully.
Yeah, his flight went off.
Yeah. We wish you all the best, and we hope that when
let me just say something before. Just give me 1 minute. I want to thank you for this opportunity. I want to thank those who are listening, those who have asked questions, even the tricky ones. That is part of what we are doing. You never know it all. But I want to say something that I am very happy to have been here, but I am eminently qualified and I have the capacity and the vision to make Anambra better and greater than it is. But with the support of all of you, we will make this happen. So I am always available. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So, sorry, a bit of feedback there, but thank you very much for coming on the show. We'd love to have you. Hopefully, we wish you all the best. We hope you do get the ticket eventually to become the candidate for the PDP, for the People's Democratic Party. And don't forget Prime Television. Please come along when you do make it, and then I will be here to give you the platform to be able to speak to people and, reach out to people in any which way you think fit. So thank you very much for coming to the show. Marlene, I'll let you give your final words of thanks to him.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for, hopefully we'll join you in Enugu, in Anambra State, hopefully, real soon, after the coronavirus is gone.
Thank you. Before I am also looking forward to meeting in the UK. Anytime I find myself in the UK, I will try to be at Prime TV so we can also discuss more about Anambra.
Fantastic.
Anambra is passionate to me, and I believe we can make it happen. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye. We've had Chief Ugochukwu Okeke, who is an aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP in Nigeria. And me and myself, Lady Marlene, we said we needed to do it together, a joint effort, because we're having gladiators. He's one of the many people who are going to be coming on this platform. And we hope you do follow us. It's going to be a long journey. Please bear with us. The internet might be problematic every now and again, but please do bear with us. Lady Marlene, what do you think? What do you think of Chief Ugochukwu? He sounded very, very, sound.
We are actually privileged to have him today, and to start this program today, Anambra Day, that's what I call it.
Yes.
Welcome on board. If you have any questions, if you want to be a guest here too, to talk about Anambra State every Thursday, you are welcomed. So we have to throw that in the open, Spencer.
Yes. So thank you very much for our viewers for staying with us. Keep a day with us on every Fridays Lady Molly, when's the Golden Pot of Hope? Is it Fridays? Is it or
Golden Pot is every Saturdays.
Saturdays, that's right. We have Golden Pot of Hope on Saturdays. We have Obokandibo on Sundays. And then we're going to have and then the podium was the political program.
Prime View Kids.
Yeah, and then Prime View Kids for the children, which we're gonna have all the children soon, and then we have the podium, and then this very program, the Diaspora Political Platform, Leadership Political Platform.
Yes.
So we're gonna have this every Thursday. We're having this program. We're gonna have one political chieftain or the other to come and speak to us. So thank you very much for staying with us. We do hope that you continue patronizing us. Keep liking our page, share our programs. You know, they does help us.
Keep liking our page, subscribe, Private TV.
Subscribe to our page on YouTube as well.
We don't mean cancer. We don't mean no harm. You know that.
No, we don't. It's a platform for all of us. So thank you very much. And I'll say till next time is bye from me, Spencer. Say bye, my lady.
Bye from Lady Marlin. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye.